Welcome back to the videos for exercises for chapter 17. Now that we've set up the explanation about what we're going to try to do, let's go ahead and start to do it. So first step, just click on this link in the textbook website and you should be able to download the data in the correct form that we'll be able to do our forecasting exercise with. So you see here we have crude oil prices, ultra low sulfur diesel, and RBOB prices from 2010 through basically the end of 2017. And the first thing that the exercises ask us to do is to create that crack spread variable. So I'm going to name the column header crack spread, and I'm going to toggle back to the book to remind ourselves what the equation should look like. So crack spread, remember, comes from this equation 1 here. And we're going to need 2 times the gasoline price times 42, plus 1 times the diesel price times 42. And then that's about as much as I can remember, so let's go do that part. And then we'll toggle back when we're ready. Equals 2 times the gasoline price times 42, plus 1 times the diesel price. Wouldn't have to put that 1, but that's okay. Times 42. Okay, so that's part of our spread. I'm going to toggle back to the book and remember the rest of it. So we did this part, the revenue part. Now we're going to subtract 3 times the crude oil price, because it's a 3, 2, 1 spread. So subtract 3 times the crude oil price, put parentheses around the whole thing, and then divide by 3. So minus 3 times the crude oil price, and put parentheses around the whole thing, and divide by 3. That's my crack spread. And this is literally the same data that I used to plot the chart in the textbook, so we can go and verify that it looks about right. So yeah, that first observation that we calculated is equal to about $8, and it looks about like what we've got over here in this chart. So we must have done the equation correctly. So given that, I'm going to fill that equation down. Now I'm going to create my lagged crack spread variables. Oops, I better note that it's minus 1. I'm just going to put crack spread 1. And that will allow me to remember that it's 1 lag of the crack spread. And remember, we were using a model with 2 lags of the crack spread, so we'll do it twice. Alright, now remember for this one, we're just doing a straight up lag of the level. So to make this lagged variable, I simply need to reach back 1 space and get that first lag of the crack spread, and then fill it down. And all of these references will just look back 1 space. Similarly for the 2 crack spread, equals 1, 2 references back. Okay, now I've got my crack spread, 1 lag, and 2 lags of the crack spread. Now I need to make my delta log of price changes variable. Since it's not easy to write delta in Excel, I'm just going to call it d dot crude oil 1, meaning that it's 1 lag of it, and d dot USLD 1, d dot RBOB 1. So I've got a reminder there that it's a first difference, and also a reminder that it's 1 lag. Okay, so it's important to note here that we're actually going to need, just for this first lag, we're going to need to give up 2 degrees of freedom to do that. Because just getting the lag, notice, just getting the first lag, we have to reach back 1 place, and that's going to reduce 1 degree of freedom for us. Then if we look back at the equation, for what the lag variable looks like, the delta t minus 1 means we need to start with the t minus 1 variable and then reach back 2 for the second part of the difference. What that means in Excel is we're going to start here in this place that's already down 2 places, equals this, and this is going to be equal back 1, trying to make sure I get my places lined up, minus back 2. Okay, so notice where the cell references are. We're inputting into spot 4 for the 1 lag of the difference variable. That means I need to be looking at t minus 1 minus t minus 2. Okay, I think we've got our positions right, but I didn't log those variables yet. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here and put the log function around these cell references. To get that correct. Okay, now if we come over and compare, that's what we have here in this formula. Okay, so let's go back and fill this one down. And then we can pretty much fill this across, because that's going to fill it across for the ultra low sulfur diesel. And also similarly for the RBOB. So now we can just fill that guy down. Okay, so we've created all our variables. The next thing we're going to do is start in on estimating the regression. And that's what we'll continue with in the next video.